Ladies and gentlemen, the legend of The Undertaker continues to grow.
The following year in Chicago, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, took aim against the Streak in a match tailor-made for the dead man.
For the first time in WrestleMania history, we will have a casket match.
Being in a casket match against The Undertaker is like playing Michael Jordan one-on-one. He's the greatest that ever did it. I mean, you're in his element. And if you consider yourself any kind of a talent, you'll try to step up to the plate.
You can see Mark Henry extremely intense here tonight at WrestleMania 22.
To be in the ring against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 22 was one of the most exciting moments of my career.
Whoa, 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 oh my God! Undertaker!
The crowd was at a pitch that I had never heard before.
This is 400 pounds! Stone!
Oh my God!
Stone pile driver!
Undertaker slammed the door shut on 14-0, and the Streak was now approaching epic proportions.
What a performance by the dead man!
More than 80,000 creatures of the night packed Ford Field for WrestleMania 23, and the challenger was a different kind of man, the Animal and world champion, Batista.
You know, first of all, going into WrestleMania 23 with Undertaker, and that's another one of my dream matches. Because of the way we had built the match with me and Undertaker, no one had ever stood up to Undertaker like I did.
I will not be intimidated.
So people were wondering, you know, is Undertaker, you know, possibly will his streak be broken?
You talk about a date with destiny. If anyone can end this streak, as crazy as it may sound, Batista is the one who could defeat The Undertaker and the Streak tonight.
The thing about the match itself that was really most important to me was I really wanted to steal the show. I think Undertaker did as well.
Batista realizing this is a career-defining moment here tonight, that he could cement his legend at WrestleMania if he can stop the Streak. Well, look at this. Look at The Undertaker fight. There's never been a guy who has more fight in his heart and grit in his soul than The Undertaker. He wears scars, Michael, like badges of honor. He smells like smoke because he's been through fire, and damn it, this is where he's home, and that's in battle.
I knew we tore the house down. I knew it was one of those matches that people were going to say, damn, that was a good match.
It was a roller coaster ride for the 80,000 plus here tonight.
And I could just tell by the electricity, the way it felt, everything flowed together. It was magical.
Talk about two great warriors going for all the gold, Michael. This is a world championship match. It's what it's all about. This is what you wait all your life for. This is why you wait all year for WrestleMania.
The way the fans reacted.
These WWE fans in a near frenzy in Ford Field.
Everyone was on their feet at the end of that match. And I knew we stole the show, and I was proud of it.
It was an absolutely spectacular World Championship matchup between The Undertaker and Batista.
I really, really earned Undertaker's respect that night, which to me was, I mean, it's priceless.
The win not only kept the Streak intact, but Undertaker was the World Heavyweight Champion, the second time he'd won a major championship at WrestleMania. At this point, superstars were willing to risk just about anything to be the man to end the Streak. And at WrestleMania 24, the dead man would receive a rated R challenge. Edge is a man who could become a legend tonight. He is undefeated as well at WrestleMania. Edge, who was the current world champion, was not only putting his championship on the line, but was another man who had never been defeated at WrestleMania. Over 74,000 fans, a citrus bowl record looking on.
walking out there and just seeing the spectacle of it and the setup over the ring and just how everything looked. And then I'm going down there against The Undertaker. I was a fan and always have been.
Absolutely mesmerizing. The magnificence that is Undertaker.
And you're in there with a guy like him. It's very surreal. An amazing experience. It really was, hanging with him in the ring. And like I said, I was proud of it too, because by the end, the people, I honestly don't think they knew if he was going to win.
Edge trying to make it. And he taps out. We've got a new champion. The Undertaker's legend grows. The dead man has risen.
The Undertaker's streak was 16-0. And it was becoming crystal clear that a show-stopping performance would be necessary to end the streak. Who better to deliver that performance than Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels? No one has ever outperformed the Heartbreak Kid on the grandest stage, but no one had ever beaten The Undertaker. Something had to give.
You can't help but to be a little bit intimidated by this phenom.
It is game day for Mr. WrestleMania, and Mr. WrestleMania has his game face on.
You can't help but to think about the darkness that exists within him, but at the same time, you have to try to get your arms around the fact that he's just a man.
This is certainly about the lightness and the darkness.
Having been inside the ring with The Undertaker, you almost find yourself at war with a legacy as opposed to a man.
Music again! Right on the jaw! He's done it! Shawn Michaels did it! Will live his prophecy! Kiss the streak goodbye! And again! What?
It's WrestleMania. Everybody steps it up, and then you tack on top of that, you've never been beaten at the absolute biggest show in sports entertainment. You're gonna hang on to that like grim death.
One goes down, one gets back up.
He's got absolutely everything on the line, everything to fight for. So yeah, defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania is one of the hardest things you're gonna do.
Here comes it coming! Oh! Catching Michaels in midair! Tombstone pile driver! He did it!
Shawn Michaels came so close to pulling off the impossible that he literally decided to risk it all for one last chance.
Facing him at WrestleMania 25 and then 26, it was more trying to beat this streak that somehow had immortalized itself over time.
Arguably the greatest in-ring competitor of all time, Shawn Michaels put his career on the line in an attempt to end the most revered streak in WWE history.
Being Mr. WrestleMania, there's a certain amount of dignity that you feel the only way you can get that is to overcome this one obstacle that has risen up over the years.
The anticipation for the rematch was off the charts, so much so that the streak had now become the main event.
For The Undertaker, all good things could come to an end. He is 17-0 at WrestleMania. It is the greatest streak of all time. During that streak, he has defeated 10 former world champions.
There is an aura, there is a mystique, there is a mystery, there is a darkness. There's the streak. There's the accomplishments. It's a huge, huge mountain to climb.
You can literally see their bodies shaking, twitching, in pain, in emotion.
The two combatants delivered another extraordinary and highly emotional performance.
A third tombstone! The Undertaker is 18-0!
But in the end, Shawn's career had come to an end, while the streak still lived and breathed.
The Undertaker's legendary 18-0 streak is intact.
Watching his best friend's career come to a close was a heart-wrenching experience for Triple H, and he vowed